Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode 140. Daunting of the Retro Gamers Podcast. Larry here.
And Anthony here.
What is going on, Ann? How are you?
I'm doing great.
It looks like I got a little bit of a different setup there behind you. I'm liking it.
Yes, I got angry with my living room and rearranged it.
Fair enough. That happens to the best of us.
It really does. It was a fight I won, so that's all that matters.
Good.
I also got angry with my bedroom and got a new bed. So.
Oh, I saw that at Nectar. That's pretty cool. I heard they're good.
Nectar. Very, very, very comfortable, and I can actually sleep on it. Which is important.
That's the Siri, shut up! You're not part of the show. Siri, stop. That's good. You know, it's funny because I also got a new bed in the new apartment, and mine is like 15 feet off the ground. It feels like.
Oh, and cool!
I haven't had a good night's sleep, and not because of the bed. I think just ironically, just haven't been getting good night's sleeps.
New location. I've only had my new bed for 2 nights, and I have not gotten a good night's sleep, but not because of the bed. The bed is extremely comfortable.
Yeah, mine too. Yeah,
and it's an adjustable bed, and it's got a massager in it.
Oh,
so it's like, it's got all these things that make me really comfortable. What's not comfortable is when your cat Link, wherever he is, who now isn't used to me sleeping in my bed because I've been sleeping in my recliner for years. Realizes now that I'm in the bed, so that he takes that as a cue to jump up in the bed in the middle of the night and then walk on top of me, back and forth.
I think he did that to me once when I was staying there.
Yes, so 5 times. I've gotten very little sleep over the last 2 nights, and then when I look at him, I'm like, what am I supposed to do?
Oh man!
So sleepless nights for me in a brand new bed that's super comfortable.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Well, it sounds good. Well, we both got new beds, so that's interesting.
Yes.
And ironic? No, I guess just coincidence. I guess is more the term.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I would call it a coincidence. It's not like we live together.
No, this is true. All right. So, I also want to just really quickly just mention, because by the time this drops, it's yesterday. When we're recording it, it's today. So, definitely, want to put out our thoughts and prayers to all those men and women who aren't here anymore on this Memorial Day here in the United States. Those who aren't with us anymore, to allow us to be able to do podcasts like this and pretty much allow us to do everything we do in this country. So we're definitely thinking of all of you, always.
Yes, and we are extremely grateful.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So it's been a busy... Well, for you've been pretty busy, which I'm really excited because I know you kind of wanted to talk to me about it. I'm like, nope, save it for the podcast.
Yes.
We're going to do a little bit of nerding out here just for a moment, and we're going to step away from games for a second. Anthony, you were able to attend. Now, was this like a sneak peek, or is this the grand opening of Star Wars Land?
Oh, well, first off, it's not called Star Wars Land. Oh. It's called Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
I like Star Wars Land.
Yeah, they're not calling it Star Wars Land. Right. So, you are visiting the planet of Batuu.
Oh, God bless you.
Which is exactly. It's a completely fictional land that they created specifically for Disneyland. Okay. I don't think it exists in the films, but. Or maybe it does, and I just don't know Star Wars that well. Anyway, it was not the grand opening. It was actually a what did they call it? It's kind of like employee preview.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. Oh, okay.
So cool. It was basically open to employees only, so that they can get an understanding of the land.
How it works.
Because employees need to be well versed of everything going on at Disney, because when guests ask them questions, they need to give them answers. So the employees were allowed to visit the land before the grand opening, which is this Friday, May 31st.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, and I have a friend who's an employee over there. He got 2 tickets. He was kind enough to invite me. I was more than happy to accept because I really, I may not be the biggest Star Wars nerd. I was like, but I'm a huge theme park nerd.
Yeah.
I like Star Wars. And I knew that obviously with Disney they were going to do something special, so I had the opportunity to go check that out on Sunday.
The all those aerial shots that they keep showing, it's all being built. I mean, it looks huge. Is it a large area of the park?
It's a good space. It's definitely a good space. You don't feel like it's a tiny thing that you're crammed into. So it is spacious.
Did they take over like an old spot?
Yeah, they took, well, some of it, I think part of it may have been parking. I think part of it was like employee parking. The other part of it was like in Frontierland, there was like a saddle ranch in the back, which was a restaurant and stuff like that. So so it was like a combination of parking and a piece of the park.
Yeah.
So it was great. And just the secrecy around it, of course, was insane. Before you were allowed to go in the land, and they had people in timed blocks. So everybody had a 4-hour block in the land. And that's all you can do. After the 4 hours were over, you had to leave. You wouldn't be allowed to get on anything.
Okay, so no rides.
You wouldn't be able to. Yeah, so they were checking bracelets basically the whole time. And the cool thing about it is, first thing you do, like you're in line. When you go past security, they hand you a little bag, like this big.
Okay.
And that little bag was for your cell phone. And you had to seal your cell phone in the bag.
Wow.
And you were not allowed to have your cell phone out and about throughout the land at all. That is how, very high level. Like they really did not want any of this to come out.
Disney's not messing around. Good Lord.
No.
I remember when you took me on a back lot tour, you were just like, don't take any pictures. I'm like, all right, cool. Disney's like, take pictures, you will cease to exist.
Yes. In fact, there have been, to my understanding, there have been a handful of leaks online.
Okay.
And Disney has been so on top of it that you don't even realize that there have been leaks online. Like they've been going after them like crazy.
That's crazy.
Because they do not want it out.
I don't blame them.
And the press event is tomorrow. So once the press event happens, which is Wednesday, you'll start seeing more images. But let me tell you something. Images really don't do it justice. You have to go. You just have to see it to believe it, because once you enter the land itself, there are 3 different entrances you can go through, and they're kind of tunnel-like. They're big, large tunnel type of things. Mm-hmm. Once you're in, you don't even know you're in Disneyland anymore. It is 100% immersive. You look around you, it's all theme. All theme. You look up, all theming. You do not see anything outside of the land. Now, in one little area, you can see the Matterhorn.
Okay.
But they're waiting for the trees to grow to block it out. Like they've already planned how they're going to block all of this out.
Holy cow.
But the bottom line is, for the most part, when you're walking around, all you're seeing is Batu. So after about an hour and a half in the land, we completely forgot we were even at Disneyland.
Yeah, honestly,
That's how it felt.
That's crazy. Especially saying that they have like 4-hour blocks. I don't know what you're going to do in 4 hours, but it sounds like you just said, just walking around must be insane. And the only aerial photo we had was, again, them kind of building the infrastructure, and of course they had what seemed to have been a life-size Millennium Falcon.
That's exactly what it looked like.
Yeah. Awesome.
And and it was amazing. The cantina, which I did not get into because the line to get into the cantina was over 2 hours.
Oof. So. Right, you better off going to the pop-up cantina that's usually around.
Yeah, no cantina for me, no blue milk for me.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, and they sell it. But overall, it was I don't know how much information I can give. It was it's a fantastic experience, completely immersive. I highly recommend anybody who is a Star Wars fan, or even anybody who's not a Star Wars fan. It's worth the experience just to see how well something can be put together in this sense. Because, like I said, I was like, I've been in a lot of theme parks in my life, and to walk into this one specific land and to feel completely immersed, it's just there's just something about it. It's really special. So awesome experience.
That's awesome. So again, the official opening is the 31st of May.
Friday, May 31st. Reservation only.
Oh, so really?
For the first 6 weeks, you have to reserve your time. Or sorry, my phone.
Yeah, it's okay.
My phone did something.
I'm sure
you have to reserve your time, or you're not getting in. And trust me, the reservations are already gone.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
You would have to be staying at their hotels to actually get an opportunity to get a reservation, is my understanding.
Wow. Okay.
They go to hotel guests first. But my understanding is it's already booked solid. So.
That is insane. I can't even imagine what it's going to... it's one thing when you're at Disney and then you see you see Mickey, Donald, Goofy, everyone walking around. Lord only knows what it's going to be like when you walk in and you see the characters in the movie just be there. Yeah. It's going to be insane.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Oh, and one last thing to touch on is when I say immersive, I mean 100% immersive in the sense that when you're walking through the land, when you're going through the merch shops and everything like that, it's not Star Wars land themed. It's Batuu. In other words, you're not going to find a magnet that says Star Wars Land, Disneyland, or you're not going to see Mickey dressed as Darth Vader. It's official merchandise that you would buy on that planet.
Oh, that can seem a little annoying, but okay.
No, it's actually not. Yeah. It's like a different level of theming. So in other words, like they want you to feel like you're on this planet, and on this planet they're not selling Disney merchandise. They're selling Batuu related merchandise. Huh. So
that's pretty
cool. It just takes it to another level. Really well done.
That's a lot of planning.
Yes, it is.
But that's awesome. All right, cool. So everyone check out what I'm going to call Star Wars Land, but officially it's, what is it again?
Batuu.
No, that's the planet. I meant the name of the area. Galaxy.
Batuu.
No, I thought you said it was
Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
Thank you. Okay. So go check.
Batuu.
Batuu, Farakta, Niktu.
There you go.
So, all right, that sounds pretty cool. Also, I know you mentioned right before that you hit up Barcade again. What was that like now, with the general public being able to attend?
Yeah, now that it was open, kind of got an opportunity to see just how it was doing on a Friday night. I only went over there for like an hour just with a friend because he just wanted to hit it up for a little while. So we played some games. It was fairly busy. Granted, it was early in the night. It was only like maybe 7 o'clock.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But fairly busy. It's kind of in a neighborhood that's kind of upcoming, hipstery kind of thing. So a lot of hipsters hanging out in there.
Okay.
It was really good. Played a bunch of games. Played a couple of games that weren't working the last time we were there, which was kind of cool.
Okay, good. They're good with that. They fix their own games. Like if something goes down, they have their own people coming in. So.
Yeah, and the cool thing about it too is that the front area and the back area were decently packed. So. Okay. So it was nice to see that it was definitely lively. Things were going well there. So, I'm hopeful that, it remains.
Awesome. It's funny because last week and we want to give a shout out last week to Mario, who substituted for you last week because you were busy.
Yes, thank you, Mario. Much appreciated.
So, and I remember, after I saw your video originally when you were at the soft open of Barcade Los Angeles, and you walked by the X-Men machine, I'm like, wait a minute, I have this game. And like purposely broke out the 360, and like just picked it up like it was old hat. I'm like, this is awesome. And then maybe something we could talk about down the road. We may have even talked about it in the past, like because I got X-Men arcade game on Xbox 360. I got the Simpsons arcade game on the PS3, and like they pulled them from the shop, so you can't buy them anymore on the respective shops. And then it's like, me and Mario were going through the 360. And the amount of arcade games that Konami especially was putting out on the 360 was ridiculous. So,
yeah, I mean, it was the perfect opportunity for them to make some money with some old games.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll see that again because, a lot of Neo Geo stuff, a lot of arcade stuff comes out on the Switch, PS4 and Xbox One. The final thing to first get your perspective on, because then we have something special that we'll introduce with it. But you were also at the I don't know what they call it, block party or whatever for the Polymega.
Yeah, I was, and actually, thank you very much for letting me know that was happening because I completely missed that. I wanted to take advantage. So there's a video game shop in Little Tokyo in downtown LA that Larry, you actually came, you visited.
I was going to say, when you say that, which one was it?
We went there in November. It was called Retro Game Camp. It was the one that was the one that was underground and had all the Japanese import.
Oh, that place was awesome.
Fantastic.
Yep.
So they were the ones that were hosting the Polymega for the preview, and so I went down there on Sunday to check it out. And I thought maybe I was going to be there like 5 or 10 minutes, just see it, cycle through, whatever. I wound up staying there for about an hour.
Oh, wow.
I was there for about a good hour. I also wanted to go shopping, but I just didn't have a list in mind. So it's hard to pick out imported games when you don't know what you're looking for.
Yeah,
so.
we did have a very tough time doing that when I was there.
So the Polymega was set up right in the front, and there were a couple of people already playing it, so I was just kind of hanging back and watching. And they were playing a Japanese fighter game that I didn't know.
Okay.
Because as part of the demo, the Polymega was already loaded with a bunch of games.
Okay.
So I think there were like I want to say he had like the entire Japanese Saturn collection on there.
Oh wow. Because you can rip them. Yes, you can rip them to the hard drive. That's one of the keys to it. And yeah, it'll play North American, PAL, and Japanese version of these games.
Yep.
All right.
Absolutely. Yeah, so it was really cool. So I watched a little bit of it, and then while I was there, the rep was there, and then I just started talking to him. His name is Brian Bernal. He was really, really nice, really cool guy. And he was just there to show off what the Polymega is all about, because a lot of people really don't understand what it is. And from what he actually told me, a lot of people are very skeptical of it because they've been burned in the past by other retro consoles. These consoles are promising things and then they don't really deliver.
Yeah.
But he was there to, put everybody's mind at ease, and so he showed us kind of the general menu screen and everything like that, and how it all works. And I gotta say, like, if I did not pre-order it before, I would have pre-ordered it right after. There's no question about it. So,
okay.
And there were some things that I didn't know about it too that he filled me in on that I thought was really interesting. So, one thing to note right off the bat is the base console, the base unit.
Yeah.
The CD-ROM part of the base unit does not get ejected from the unit.
Oh no, it's always part of the unit. Yeah.
It's always part of the unit. The CD slot's at the bottom. The base unit comes up on its own, and like it's just kind of like a shell. Yeah. That you then swap out for other units.
The modules,
like the Genesis one, the other modules, right? So that was really interesting. Another interesting thing was somebody had asked him, and it may be on my video. Somebody asked him how many controllers you can hook up to it, and he said as many as you want.
Because, you mean like to the base unit?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because if you do it you can do wireless.
Well, yeah, that's what I imagine, because the base unit looks like it has to be wireless, because, like, the base unit, you can't get controllers for each individual CD-ROM system. Not like the modules where they'll be like, and you can use the old controllers for the Nintendo, Super Nintendo, and stuff like that. But that's still pretty interesting. Okay.
Well, it was funny though. He was using a Sega Saturn controller because he had an adapter for it.
Oh, I wonder, like
have you ever seen those adapters? I think I have one right here. Actually, now that I think about it,
I think Retrobit also puts them out.
Yeah, it's like this.
Oh, okay.
So like, see, this one I can use a GameCube or a PlayStation. N64 or a PlayStation controller.
Oh wow, okay.
So he had one of these for the Saturn, and because it has USB ports, you just plug it in.
That's why. Okay. I wonder if then those other ones will work.
So was very, very impressed with everything that he had to say about it. The menu design was beautiful, very sleek, very Netflix-like.
Okay, I can see that.
So. And it goes by console, and then when you're inside the console, it goes by title. You can the organization I love. You can do it by title. You can do it by game type. So in other words, you love side-scrolling shooters. So he was like, look, these are all the shooter games for the Japanese Saturn, and there were like 20 of them.
Oh, that's cool.
And you can do it by rating. So when you're playing your game, you can rate it 5 stars, 4 stars, or whatever, and then you can do search by rating. What are your 5-star games?
Oh wow!
So that was really cool. Also,
yeah. Well, no. I was just gonna ask. I don't know if it's on the video. Let me know because I don't want to spoil the video. Did it show anything specific about the modules? Like any gameplay on the modules, or just at least what did they look like?
Yeah, so they did do some gameplay. Like I watched a couple of people play, like Marvel vs. Street Fighter and a couple of other games.
Okay.
I forget the name. A lot of the games were Japanese that they were trying out. Super crisp. Really, like the HD part of it really pays off.
That's cool.
The games look beautiful. Just they stay true to the original, but again, they give it that HD upgrade. Mm-hmm. They do have settings in there if you want to make it look like the original.
I love
so they had done that where you had like the scan lines on it, which was really cool. You can also go widescreen and make everything fat.
Yeah, I never understood that one, but all right.
Yeah, I never understood that either. He showed it, and the guy who was playing was like, no. It's like,
make it as crappy looking as possible.
Exactly. He did back up that everything in the system, like every console, they've already got the publisher rights for everything, so it's not like illegal emulation.
Okay, good.
And and furthermore, it's like anything that they offer to download that'll be online will obviously be something that because you're going to be able to purchase games online.
I forgot about that.
So so everything is fully licensed. So it's because the only way you're going to get games is if you purchase them online from them, and they're only going to have officially licensed games.
Okay.
That they have the rights to, or if you buy the cartridges or games yourself, insert it and download it to the hard drive.
Yeah, you rip it to the hard drive. Did it say anything about expandable hard drive or anything like that? Just out of curiosity.
It is expandable up to 2 terabytes.
Oh, daddy! I don't even think I have 2 terabytes behind me.
No, I don't. I don't even think you have like.
And that includes.
You may have a gigabyte at best.
Probably right.
So anyway, I mean, I can keep going on and on about this.
Yeah.
But I think it would be better at this point to just jump into the video, or for the podcast, jump into the audio so you guys can listen to the conversation that I had with Brian Bernal at Polymega, so you can kind of get an understanding of some of the other information about it. And you're going to hear my voice, Brian's voice. You're going to hear somebody else's voice too, because there was a third guy there who was kind of interrupting me and asking questions. So I don't know who that is, but you'll probably hear him as well. But again, it's all very informative, and if anybody who's listening is interested in the Polymega, this is definitely worth listening to or watching if you're on YouTube. So let's check that out.
So this is actually driving right now, so if you want to try this one, you can just cruise around and give it a try. So try to go, what kind of fighting games do you like, 3D or 2D? Try the Saturn collection, go press up, and then go to on the collections, go to the right, and keep going until you see Sega Saturn. It's like the next one here, yeah, Saturn. So try this one. And then you can do a search in here. Just go up to the little magnifying glass right there, and then type in Marvel. So here's Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter. This one, and play that. Start a new game.
And you have the full info for every game? Like, I saw a little...
I have the game installed. Oh, yeah, the database has everything, yeah.
Wow.
You don't have to connect to the internet or anything either. It just works. Cool. This is all running our proprietary Sega Saturn BIOS, so it's all like legal. You don't have to like sign it.
Oh, that's cool. And then are the controllers wired or wireless?
These are actually wireless. So this is the box here, and I'll show you the.
I hope you don't mind taking video for my podcast.
I don't care. Yeah.
All right, cool. And I've already got this on pre-order. So.
No problem. Yeah. So this one. Let's open this.
Sure.
So inside the box here, so this is the dongle that it comes with.
Okay.
So it's got a wireless 2.5 gigahertz
perfect.
dongle, and you can use that. Any of the universal controllers have that.
Awesome.
I keep it when we're doing these long, demo days. I usually keep it wired because it's like
the battery's gonna die.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want that to happen anymore. And I don't want that thing to get lost. So
makes sense.
Yeah, the system basically is Yeah,
I wanted to see also,
definitely.
and then I'm good. Well, I'm already sold on this. I'm sold on it when you kickstarted it in the beginning.
Nice.
So
So yeah, this is the home screen. You have your game collection. So every time you install a game, the first game that goes into the collection is like one of these tiles appears.
okay.
So if I insert my first PlayStation game, I go to PlayStation.
Okay, so they don't just exist there. So in other words, if I don't have any PlayStation loaded up, it won't be up there.
That's right.
So,
Yeah.
So you won't open it and find nothing.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So as your collection grows, it could be a small number of games. Like maybe like we'll look at Super Graphics here, which only has a couple games.
Of course.
Like your collection of these games is only 7 because there's only like 5 or 7 games. Whatever.
Yeah.
But it could go all the way up to these are like PC Engine games, like almost 400 PC Engine.
Nice.
Games. And so each one of these views, this is what we call like your collection view. So you can see all the different games that you have, and everything's like all sorted. So we have a custom database that's built with all this art and everything that was done specifically for this system.
And that's amazing. Yeah, that's amazing because that's a lot of art.
It's a ton of art, yeah. I mean, there's 14,000 games. Like we've been working really hard on this, and that's why one of the reasons why it's taken a long time. We wanted the experience to be really good, even if it's taken a little while. Like it had to be really good. So so you can sort any of your games by alphabetical. Like this. And this will work for other languages too, like Japanese and everything. You can sort it by the genre. So if I'm like, I just want to see my shooters.
Cool.
Just jump down to shooting games. So here you go. This is all shooter, like 2D shooters for the PC Engine CD.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And for many of these, if you see something that you want to play or you want to look into, you can. Oops, sorry.
No worries.
Using this Saturn.
I have a friend who's obsessed with 2D shooters, so this is like he's very excited.
So if I look at Gate of Thunder here, so I can see information about it. I can see who the publisher was, the developer, and everything. I can see screenshots of the game.
Wow.
I can also manage it. I can add it to my favorites. I can delete its installation data, like whatever I want to do with it.
Okay.
I can also rate the game.
Nice.
So if I'm like, okay, I want to have like I have a huge collection. I want to have them all on here, but I want the ones that I'm like that I really care about and want to play.
Okay.
Easily accessible. I can rate it, and then when I'm in this view here, I can sort my rating.
You can sort it by. Oh,
so
nice.
here's my 5-star games.
Now, is it just you, or is like do people online rate it? Do you see like an overall rating for
We'll
everybody?
add that
or no?
eventually. So
Okay.
right now it's just you. But so it works kind of like iTunes.
Okay. Cool.
But yeah, eventually we'll have more community-based features.
Okay. And then where it says players, is that like if it's a multiplayer game,
The
you can
number
do
of
it? What?
players,
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
Yeah, so you can see it basically.
And I think you were saying before you can hook up as many controllers as you want,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah, so if you're like, as
As long as they're compatible,
I've got
of course.
a party of people coming over and we want to play some turn-based strategy.
Hey, I know some people.
Oh, really? Do you? Okay, I was wondering.
Yeah. I mean, they made the game for somebody.
Yeah, exactly. No, I always there was so many of these Nobunaga series games.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nobunaga's edition.
It's insane.
1 through like 12 now.
Well, so now we're sitting
And
here
now there's
talking.
Romance of the Three Kingdoms and all that.
So now we're sitting here talking about it, but I'm like, okay, well, maybe I'm curious about what this game is and who made it. So the publisher was Koei, the developer was Koei too, and the genre was strategy turn-based. So we can just see other stuff that they, a little
Oops.
debug mention. It was just a debug message.
I gotcha.
But interesting. Okay. So yeah, you can see all the different games that they put out by year. So here's your.
Oh wow.
across all the
That's
different
awesome.
years. So I can see everything from Koei here that's in our database right now.
Very
This is
cool.
the one that's. It's telling me I don't have.
So that one's giving it.
What it
you're
is
getting an error message.
it's actually a. This game is a programming. I'm sorry. It's a word processing application for Saturn.
Oh wow.
And it's one of the very few games that's not compatible with our system. So I mean, it's actually really good from our database.
You know what? If somebody's buying this specifically for word processing, I think
Yeah.
not exactly.
Well, it's currently not compatible. It may be
Yeah.
compatible someday, but you need like a whole like typewriter. And
Exactly.
So, with how the system is now, because I know I talked to you before about this, how there's a lot of skepticism about it.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, even with myself, to be honest, I went in, I was about to pre-order it, then the radio silence, which you know, especially when it comes to the world of like, you know, trust us.
People want everything.
Yeah.
Well, it's not a matter of that. It's like you did the Kickstarter and then you basically ran your Kickstarter in line with when so many people were just scamming it.
Yeah, true. Yeah, we were wrong there. Yeah.
Yeah. So with and I, like I said, I got onto the second round and I got the big,
The ultimate. Yeah.
the ultimate. But when it comes down to the livelihood of the system, like it's lifespan.
Uh-huh.
Are you looking to make sure that it just constantly gets upgraded as things progress on?
Yeah, I mean, this is meant to live as an evolving and breathing project. And,
Cool.
Right now, we think that Polymega in this form will continue to be available until about 2032 or so.
Okay.
And so that's like all of our parts that are inside of it and everything. Like that's the end of life for the.
All right, cool.
So through that time, we plan to support as many systems as possible, provide new community features for the system, and just do more and more stuff with it.
Now, the one thing that you did talk about, at least we talked about, was when I asked about like having the different adapters that would go inside the system for the Genesis and Master System using the power-based.
Right. Yeah. So
my question is that a database issue, or is that going to be just an entirely new emulation thing?
It's a database issue. That's all it is. And that's why we can update the system to include support for it later. We also don't have the bandwidth to make like adapters and stuff like that. So, So if other people,
even with that, there are diamond
but yeah, you can get them anywhere, and I think it's like if I can get some help, like we're about to make a hire, like a pretty high profile hire for the company, who will help me manage my time. I can help get some of that stuff done for other people. So if that can happen, then I think that we'll be in pretty good shape.
Hey man, if you need temporary donations and stuff like that, I know you're in LA, I'll drive over.
Nice.
Yeah, do some collection work for Polymega.
Do you plan on going pre-NES though? Like you're looking at Ataris, Coleco,
Yeah,
all
for sure.
that stuff?
Yeah. It was I think.
I mean, NES is a great base to start with, of course.
We had to prioritize what we were going to.
Yeah.
Atari was in our original launch list, and then we pulled it off based on some, like one of our internal electrical engineers was like, 4 is enough. I'm really 5 is too much for me.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, we'll drop Atari for right now. And it's one less controller we had to design. And
of course.
There was big effects when we did that, so it allowed us to get all the stuff done that we needed to get done.
Okay, cool. Very cool.
Yeah, and then some of the other features here. So
it seems like with the continue playing, you have multiple save states.
these are actually not save states; these are just the games themselves.
Oh, okay.
So if you go to like, let's see, what were we playing?
The last one.
Oh no, I didn't. I'll show you that one second. I just want to show you the save state.
How many save states can you have for a game? Is there just...
Well, this one has one here. So you can start from save state right here.
Okay.
I love this one.
So it's really fast. There's no like...
Yeah, that was just like almost instantaneous.
Yeah. Some people thought that we were faking stuff because it was so fast. They're like, oh, it needs to take X amount of time because that's what my computer does.
Right.
But our system is made for this. It's not like something you're carrying into like an existing.
Yeah, and that's great because that's definitely one of the things that, that's definitely a big plus.
Yeah, it's this was a system like we wanted it to be. It's like this is there's just so much friction when you're trying to set up emulators and everything. For some people, it's dead easy, but for most people, it's a whole world you have to if you have kids, if you have a job, if you have all responsibilities.
Yeah, you just want the simplicity.
You don't have time for to spend weekends setting it up. Yeah, you just want the simplicity.
Cool. Really, really cool.
All right, so the summer is upon us, if the weather tells me anything, and we got a lot of stuff coming up gaming on Long Island has a lot of stuff coming up this summer.
Yes, they do.
So coming up this weekend actually will be CradleCon. Not as much gaming, but just kind of like a convention coming up this weekend, June 1st and June 2nd at the Cradle of Aviation Museum. Check them out. Of course, you can go to the Cradle of Aviation's Facebook page or CradleCon's Facebook page to check out all the information there. And, of course, as the muscle car passes by my window, the Long Island Retro Gaming Expo, which the retro gamers will be represented there.
Yes, we will.
August 10th and 11th, SummerSlam weekend.
Ooh, baby.
Yeah, so instead of going to Toronto, I'm going to Garden City. But I'm actually excited about this because we're actually going to have a table, we're going to broadcast, and hopefully you'll be there.
I am hoping to be there. I unfortunately cannot guarantee it because of extenuating circumstances going on here in Los Angeles that I can't speak about right now.
Fair enough. All right. Interesting. But in one way, shape, or form, Anthony will be there. With a virtual.
I will be. I may be there virtually, but I plan to be there that weekend, one way or the other.
Awesome. So again, get your tickets early for the Long Island Retro Gaming Expo because they're a little bit cheaper than buying them at the door. And besides the gaming, besides the tabletop gaming they're having, I do believe they may even have a pinball tournament going on.
Ooh, nice. I would lose.
Really? I thought you were good at pinball.
I'm terrible at pinball.
All right. Well, fair enough.
Never been my thing.
So he is not a pinball wizard.
No, definitely not.
So, again, check them out. We will be there. And if you're there, come check us out, the Long Island Retro Gaming Expo. See you guys there. All right. So, a lot of good stuff. That was awesome awesome conversation you had there with Brian, with the Polymega. And
my cat is stabbing me. So.
The pain.
The pain of cats.
He's never on the show. She.
Oh, she? Yeah.
She's never on the show.
So this is Snow.
Doesn't want to be on the show, I say. Not like the other one.
No, she definitely does not. You don't want to be on the show, do you?
Whoa.
No, you don't.
Right. And as Anthony's eyes get gouged out of his head, live on I'll get his head.
She's very well behaved.
Yeah.
Except when she's not.
So let's talk about some news. Oh boy, I think that's right off camera. Thank goodness.
Oh, good.
Now it's getting weird, folks.
Well, now she's going to step on my keyboard and disconnect me.
Disconnect the whole thing. So I just want to make mention real quick because I think you've beat the game already with Odyssey, Super Mario Odyssey. That is. I took a little bit of a hiatus with it, and then recently I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm upstairs. We pick up the game again, started playing again. Excuse me, picking up some more moons. Finally broke 500 moons. That's how.
Congratulations.
That's how long I haven't played it. Thank you. Not realizing there's a whole nother level at this point, the darker side of the moon. And,
oh, yes.
It is from Satan's Hellmouth that this level exists. I think there's 7 levels of hell. This one's 8, 9, and 10.
Nice.
You know which level I'm talking about?
No, I do because I completed it.
Yeah, what it is, it just takes elements of all the other worlds, all the other planets that you've played, and kind of factors it into one giant level that is ridiculously long. And there's no checkpoints on this freaking thing. So you got to run through it in one shot.
Yep.
I almost broke my television. I almost threw the Switch out the GD window.
I take it you have not completed it yet.
No, I keep getting a little bit further. I must have played the level at least 15 times already. No, got to be more than that. Maybe 20.
I can feel your pain, Larry. I'm going through a similar experience on a different game, but I remember that board on Mario Odyssey. It was definitely a hump. But once you get through it, you will feel happy. You will feel accomplished on your way to collecting all 999 moons. That's
a whole nother point to contend with. But God, the ones who created that level, I will meet you in hell because it is terrible.
You definitely will. And you know what they'll do? Then they'll just have you play it, for eternity.
Ad nauseum.
Yeah.
And another game on Switch that actually you played a little bit live, and I watched. I'm curious how the Switch, because the Switch is going to start putting out some board games. You downloaded and played Clue.
I downloaded and played Clue. Clue is my favorite board game of all time, hands down.
Yep.
and I've played a lot of board games. You can see some of them behind me, I think, on my shelf. Yeah, some of them are hiding over there. But Clue is by far one of my favorites. What?
Is that Back to the Future, the board game?
Yes.
Oh, weird. Okay.
It's a card game.
Oh.
Interesting game. It has some issues, but it's still kind of fun.
All right, we're gonna do a board game episode later one day.
Yeah, we've been talking about doing a board game episode forever, and we're gonna have to follow through. It's gonna have to be like when we're together in person, because then we can show off some
this
of them.
Is true.
So.
See how bad I am and how good he is.
Exactly. But what else is new? So now I lost my train of thought. So Clue. Downloaded Clue on the Switch. And what was cool about this is now it's the standard fare Clue, but there's a lot more added to it. So I bought because there's you can buy the standard version, or you can buy the standard version with the season pass.
Oh, they already have season passes. Okay.
Yeah, so for an extra $10, you get the season pass, and the season pass allows you to download all of the extras, including future extras that they bring out.
Okay.
And me, I'm a big traditionalist. I like just give me the original version, and I'll sit down and play that. But they have, I want to say 6 or 7 different versions in there.
Oh, wow.
And they're actually really, really interesting. So they have like different themes. Like there's Masquerade. I think there's Wild West. My particular favorite of the other themes, Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's cool.
And the board is set up with Sherlock Holmes specific locations. So like 221 Baker Street, Dark Alley, basically places in London are the rooms, so to speak.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and the game plays like a standard version of Clue. Where you have to figure out who did it with what and where.
Yeah.
Now you can play. You can play in your house. You can by yourself with AI, or you can play online. There's online for it, which is really cool. So it'd be cool to actually play people online. And then specifically, apparently, what they did also was one of the things that is an issue with playing a game like Clue is you get a sheet that you kind of check boxes off and X out things as you rule out certain things in the game, like certain weapons, certain people.
Yeah.
Now, how do you have, like, let's say you have a group over and you want to play Clue. How are you supposed to do that when everybody can see the television screen? Because they'll see your sheet.
Ah, yes.
You can download, they have an app you can download so that you can keep the sheet on your phone.
That's cool.
And play with everybody else in the room.
I've seen, they're starting to do a lot of that, like Uno. At least for the PS4 version. I don't know if the Switch version is the same, but Uno on the PS4, yeah, you can play on the PS4 with your phone. I almost pulled everything out of the wall. And then your phone will act as the card deck. So then you can swipe through and then just, flick towards the screen, and then your card will hit the screen. So that's an awesome idea. Because then I got to imagine when you're on the go, then just the Switch, when it's in portable mode, will just act as the board at that point.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, basically. So definitely well thought out board game. And again, if you're a fan of Clue, I recommend downloading the Switch and playing me.
All right, sweet, sounds good. Well, that's not the only stuff. Now we have like some news, like news.
Ooh, news. What's going on besides?
Let's get into it. Some more old games. Why not? Now we've seen some games actually come out in this fashion. Through IM 8-Bit is re-releasing Earthworm Jim 1 and 2, re-releasing it back on the Super Nintendo.
Yes.
On SNES cartridges.
Which is awesome, because if you have a Super Nintendo, or if you've pre-ordered your Polymega, with the Super Nintendo module, you'll be able to actually play.
And these are official reproductions, so they are legitimate. IM 8-Bit also previously put out, you may remember, Super NES, Mega Man X, and on the NES, Mega Man 2 were re-released. So now here's what's cool about this. It's the 25th anniversary of Earthworm Jim, and as you know, I think we talked about, me and Mario may talk about it last week. I can't remember, or me and you may talk about it a couple weeks ago. The original group, the original team, the developers of the first Earthworm Jim, are going to be making a brand new Earthworm Jim on the new Intellivision.
That's correct.
That's coming out. So this is good timing. The cartridges will be pink cartridges, which I think are cute. Maybe not as much pink as whatever color a worm is, like whatever color, like flesh, like Earthworm Jim is.
I always felt like they were either fleshy or salmon-y.
But I'm trying to see. Oh, here we go. 2,000 copies, and it's random, completely random, unless you guys go on eBay. Will be a cow pattern on the SNES cartridge, which I think is hysterical.
That's awesome.
The pre-orders started already, so you can forget about it. It was on May 21st, so a lot of them are probably... Actually, you know what? Maybe not too many are pre-ordered, because here's the thing, and this was my issue with the Mega Man games. It's $135.
Yeah, they are expensive. They are expensive with these.
I mean, you're getting these cool prints, you're getting the cool cartridges. It's on the SNES. Oh, Udder Pink, that's what it is. It's colored like an udder. That's right.
That makes sense.
Oh, I'm sorry. Only let me correct myself. 2,000 copies, period, are being made. 100 of them will have the cow pattern. I'm sorry.
Got it.
All right, there we go.
So you have a 5% chance of getting the cow pattern.
1 out of 20.
Yep.
So, but still, man, that 135. I mean, look, I've spent money, but $135 for Earthworm Jim 1 and 2. Hey, look, if you like the games, go for it. You know what I mean?
Well, and that's the thing. If you're a big fan, like in other words, if this was a special like Chrono Trigger release, I would buy it.
All right.
You know, it just all depends on on how much you love Earthworm Jim. If you're a huge Earthworm Jim fan, this may be appealing to you.
There you go.
Which also made me think of something else really quickly before you jump over, because I got an email from your favorite place, Limited Run Games, and
well, I will be polite, as my mother said. Yes. If you have nothing nice to say, then don't say anything.
Oh, I thought if you have nothing nice to say, scream it really loudly on social media.
Yeah.
But
that was the old me.
Yes. But Limited Run Games, I don't know if it's still active or not, but I just got an email from them, I think last week,
yes,
that they released the Dragon's Lair trilogy on the Switch.
I saw that.
Yes.
I saw of it, yes.
So I just wanted to bring that up.
Very interesting. A friend of mine at work who always coming over to my desk, we talk, he's very into retro games. I mean, he is all, you want to talk about like just an encyclopedia of knowledge. This guy knows his stuff. And I've told him about my dislike of Limited Run, and I remember he came by one Friday just rocking a Limited Run t-shirt.
Nice.
I was like, you keep moving or I'm going to HR.
Ooh, I should get one of those.
God, I hate them. Okay, so coming up next, speaking of encyclopedia, actually, a new NES encyclopedia is coming out. So, as if we weren't able to give you enough information about the system that we grew up loving, you can now get even more info. Yeah, because we never claimed to be the encyclopedia of gaming.
No, definitely not.
So Chris, I'm going to mispronounce his last name, Scullion, is the journalist, and actually at Nintendo Life, where I'm getting the information from, who put together this stuff. It's going to aim to document all, quoting, 714 officially licensed games released during the console's lifespan. This does not include Famicom. So this is straight up Nintendo Entertainment System, the NES.
Yep.
As well as over 160 unlicensed titles, which cover everything from Tengen's, legally dubious output, which I love their design cartridges.
Same here. Yep.
To the religious games, to the erotic games like the Bubble Baths Babes, as we may have seen. So this is pretty interesting. Don't get me wrong, this looks awesome. Definitely go check it out. I'm trying to see if it's already out or when it comes out. This almost reminds me a little bit, but it goes into more detail, kind of like the Pat the NES Punk NES book.
That's exactly what it reminded me of, because I saw it. I said, this is interesting. I'm like, wait, I have something like this.
So, but I think it probably goes into a little bit more detail. But still, it's very cool. Check out wherever you buy books. It looks straightforward and it looks really sweet. The NES Encyclopedia.
Yep.
So check it out. All right, up next. This is interesting. Ant, you gave me a heads up about this. Do you want to mention real quick this? We talked about it before, the Evercade.
Oh yeah, the Evercade. So the Evercade is this new handheld console that is being developed. It kind of looks like it almost looks like a little bit like a Nintendo Switch in a way. That's like the pseudo design.
Yeah, kind of, sort of, probably a little smaller.
Yeah, I mean it doesn't have like the HD screen or anything like that. But if you imagine that design look, that's kind of what they're going for with it in a way. But the color scheme of it looks a little like the Famicom to me.
Yeah. No,
it's got the Famicom color scheme.
Yep.
And the whole idea behind it is that it's going to be cartridge based. You're going to have little cartridges with game collections that you can insert and play. And these are not first party games. They're not creating the games. They're actually getting licensed retro games for the console. And I believe, Larry, we got our first batch listed. First or second?
A couple, actually. Yeah, let me... so we'll talk about, just out of order, Interplay, which was a wonderful company, talking about Earthworm Jim. Interplay is putting... And they're, like Anthony said, they're coming on cartridges. So the first collection of Interplay games on the cartridge will be Clay Fighter, which was a great fighter. I remember
that game. That was fun.
That was weird, but it was good.
It was fun and weird, but yeah.
Earthworm Jim. So there you go. There's another version of the game. Battle Chess. I may have that actually.
Yes, I used to have Battle Chess. I don't have it anymore.
One of my personal favorites, Booger Man.
Yes, Booger Man.
Booger. Dragon Wars.
Okay.
Incantation and Titan. The last two I don't remember, to be honest with you.
Titan I don't know either.
But Booger Man was awesome. I love Booger Man.
Booger Man was a fun game. But that's a cool little batch. You get, like, what is it, 7 games?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6 games.
Yep.
Okay.
Now, 4, 8... Now, if you want to get 10 games on a cartridge, and I don't remember if we talked about this last time, the Data East collection.
Yes.
Now, these collections have come out. Some types of collections like this have come out. I think I have a Data East collection on the Wii. But this one has, here we go, Bad Dudes.
Nice.
Burger Time.
Awesome.
Which I think I've mentioned in the past. I'm not a fan of.
Yeah, I love Burger Time.
Midnight Resistance. Side Pocket. Remember that pool game?
I loved Side Pocket. I had that on the Genesis. I may still have it on Genesis,
awesome.
actually.
Karate Champ.
Excellent game.
Joe and Mac 2. It's interesting. The second one. Joe and Mac 2. Boston Tropics.
Interesting.
Fighter's History. That was a good fighting game.
Okay.
Good game. Two Crude Dudes. I think that just came out on the Switch recently.
Oh, wow.
Magical Drop 2. And Burnin' Rubber. I don't remember Burnin' Rubber.
I don't remember Burning Rubber either.
So that's pretty cool. The console will be available in a standard edition with a single cartridge for £60. No, I'm sorry, $80.
There you go.
I think that's €60. Whatever, $80.
€60.
And then premium version with all 3 cartridges. The first set of cartridge will be the Atari 2600 collection.
Yes.
I don't have the games in front of me on that one, but there's probably a buttload of them. And then the premium, where you get all 3 cartridges, will be $100. No release date yet, but they're expecting fourth quarter, so holiday time.
Okay.
So that being said, expect it probably next year.
Exactly. No, I mean, if they hold to it, we'll have it in the fourth quarter. It'll be the perfect little Christmas gift for people.
Speaking of being held till next year, let's touch on this real quick. So we have a new release date for a Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
Oh, yes, we do.
So I guess they're going to need a little more time that they won't be able to deliver the November release date. So the new tentative release date is Valentine's Day, 2020. Yep.
Well, nothing says I love you like a blue-haired hedgehog. That looks like a child.
Now, I just want to mention real quick the one thing that when I was reading about that, it's concerning me. My biggest concern with Sonic, and everyone knows the story already, but all right, his teeth were one thing, his body was a little bit of another, but his eyes bugged me. See, I had an issue with the eyes, and I thought that was going to be the biggest concern. I feel like they're like, we're going to fix everything, but his teeth were the biggest concern.
Well, a lot of people complained about the teeth. That's why.
All right.
Everybody came out and said, why, oh, why does this hedgehog have human teeth? It's really unnerving. And it is. When you see the teeth, it's kind of like, it's very weird.
But if they give him hedgehog teeth, it's going to be weirder.
Well, I mean, what they're going to wind up doing is they're going to do some testing, and then they'll figure out what to do. But they're basically, the whole thing is kind of getting a little bit of an overhaul, and it's significant enough that they're going to delay the film a few months. And you know what, though? I think for their sake, it's probably the right move.
Whatever will make it work.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever makes it work. Pushing it to Valentine's Day, not sure that's the smartest release date for a film like this, because Valentine's Day is more, you're looking for more of your romantic film releases. So I don't know how that's going to work. But we'll see what happens.
Alrighty. And then finally, this thing is really cool. I gotta get my wrist on this. Wah, wah. A Game Boy, officially licensed Nintendo Game Boy Color Watch is coming out right now over in the UK. €24.99, so whatever that comes out to. And it's a straight up Game Boy Color watch.
Yeah, it looks really cool. It's a digital watch, right?
It is. Yeah. It's digital watch because if it's analog, I'd never be able to read it. So it's, to quote, it's a wristwatch with a Game Boy Color design. Time, date, and alarm are set using the Game Boy buttons.
Nice.
Plastic strap. Miniature version of the Game Boy Color, so it's not like a full size. That would just be heavy. Officially licensed by Nintendo. It's very cool. It's kind of got like, if you would think of a like an LCD, it's kind of like reverse, where it's mostly a black screen and then the numbers are clear. But it looks really cool. I kind of get a kick out of that.
Nice.
So that will be interesting. No, you cannot play games on it. No, you cannot hack it. It is only a Game Boy Color camera watch.
Yeah, and it will be in Larry's collection and on his shelf soon.
Well, they have a regular Game Boy looking watch that I still haven't gotten yet.
All right. I can see you adding it.
Yeah, I will. So, and with that, that's basically about it. And I think we're gonna wrap this one up. That was a good one.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's always good talking games. I love talking games. And of course, after we're done here, I'm eager to get back to my gaming.
I'm gonna go watch Raw. And
oh, that's right. It is Monday that we're recording this. It is Monday Night Raw. Yes. I don't have to worry about that because I'll read it tomorrow.
Well, I don't have cable, so I got to somehow dial it up. Anyway,
okay. This is always good.
Yes.
Again, I'm trying to think if there are any games on the horizon I've been looking at. I've been kind of just really immersed in Beat Saber on PlayStation VR. So
I gotta get mine hooked up.
Yeah, it's by far and away the best game on the system, and I really can't wait for more songs to come out. I am currently trying to finish songs on Expert Plus mode.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
You flipping around the room and stuff like that now?
You know what? I'm afraid of what I look like when I'm trying to do Expert Plus. I was like, and not only that, but the tendonitis in my arms is coming back because like I can get like maybe 2 or 3 songs in and I gotta take a break.
Oh, well, at least the cardio that helps, right?
It helps.
Awesome. So, Ant, where can they find us? Where can the people contact us?
Okay, so the people can find us anywhere you listen to podcasts. Spreaker, iTunes, Amazon Alexa, you name it, we're on there. Spotify, we're on there too. If you listen to us on iTunes, please leave us a 5-star rating. We really appreciate that. You can also watch us on YouTube.
Yes.
Just look up the Retro Gamers Podcast. We post our podcast as a video now on YouTube. You can find us on Instagram at Retro Gamers Podcast, our regular website, www.theretrogamers.com. Or you can email us at email@theretrogamers.com.
There you go. And with that, Ant, I will catch you next week.
Yes, and I will unfortunately catch you again next week.
There we go. And folks, we will catch you right here next week on the Retro Gamers Podcast.